Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Cooper Hernick Podcast. Today we have a jam-packed little podcast for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the All-Star Game and about how many Blue Jays are in the All-Star Game. Exciting news, guys. Very exciting news. We're going to be talking about the Joe Panik for Corey Dickerson trade. We're going to talk about Rafael Dolis and his health, that he's finally back from the DL. We're going to talk about today's game against the Tampa Bay Rays. We're going to talk about the trade deadline, maybe getting more bullpen pieces. We're going to talk about are we the best lineup in MLB? We have a jam-packed little bit for you guys, and you guys are going to love it. So let's start off with the All-Star Game. So, in the All-Star starting lineup is Marcus Semien, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Teoscar Hernandez. Obviously, Semien's playing second, Guerrero's playing first, and Teo's probably playing right field, I'm going to guess, because Trout. Actually, might play left because I think it's Judge and Trout that are supposed to be there, but Trout's injured. So I expect that Teo will probably get shifted to playing left or center if Trout's not playing. But it should be a great All-Star game, and I'm super, super excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be watching tonight, I think at 5 o'clock, to see which Blue Jay players are going to be on the bench. Like Bo Bichette, I think he'll definitely be there. I think Randall Grichuk has a chance. I think that the Pinto Power himself, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. So I think those three have a good chance. I think Jordan Romano out of the bullpen probably has a good chance of making it. Hyun-Jin Ryu, he's had a shaky season a bit, but he's always good. I'm just saying shaky for his standards. I think Robbie Ray, he's a dark horse candidate to be an all-star, but you never know. It's not up to the fans for pitching in the All-Star game. It's up to the managers, who I'm going to assume is probably Kevin Cash. I don't know who the manager is going to be for the All-Star game. If you guys know, put in the comments. I'm not sure because it's always confusing how they make that out to be. And who do you think will win the All-Star game? Do you think it'll be the American League team, the National League team? I personally think it'll be the American League team because look how many good players in the lineup you have. Speaking of winning, so the Home Run Derby. I noticed that Trevor Story, Salvador Perez is going to be in the Home Run Derby. So in the Home Run Derby, there's going to be Shohei Ohtani, Pete Alonso, Trevor Story, Trey Mancini, and there's still 4 spots that haven't been filled yet. So let's see, who are they expecting? I don't know who's going to be in the other 4 spots, but out of the players they have now, I expect Trevor Story. Although he's the Colorado guy in the contest, obviously you need to have a hometown guy. Out of those players, I would probably give it to Pete. I wish that Vladdy was playing in the Home Run Derby, but obviously he's looking out for the team. He wants to have a deep playoff run. He's looking out for the team, and I'm happy that he is. I'm very happy to see that Vlad cares about the team. And Pete Alonso, he has 12 home runs. Shohei Ohtani, he's in the Home Run Derby, and he had 28 home runs this year. Trevor Story, 9 home runs. That's not a lot, guys. Trey Mancini, 14. His max is at the max to get a bonus ball, so not very good. So out of those guys, I think Pete probably has the best chance. I don't know how well Shohei will do in a contest like that, but it'll be really nice seeing him in the All-Star game, and I hope that he pitches and hits in the All-Star game. That would be so sick. Maybe they're leaving an outfield spot open for Shohei, so he can hit in the lineup after. It'll be really fun. And also it being in Colorado. I know I'm upset too that it's not in Georgia. The MLB, they kind of went political, but I'm not going to get into that. I think it's going to be a great All-Star, great Home Run Derby because of how thin the air is in Colorado. Ball's going to friggin' fly out of Coors Field. I'm really excited to see that. But now let's get into the Joe Panik trade. So Joe Panik was traded for Corey Dickerson. Joe Panik was traded along with one of the Blue Jays minor league pitchers. I think it was A-ball. He got traded from a rookie ball, so not very exciting in that sense of the other guy he was traded with, but Dickerson came along with, what's his name? So Corey Dickerson came to the Blue Jays along with Adam Simber, who he's looked pretty good. I feel like it wasn't a bad trade. He's been pitching really well. I like seeing sidearm pitchers. It's fun. Even though I don't like how they're wrecking their elbow, but I did love Aaron Loop. He was a great pitcher. And I think that might help us to a playoff run. But I still do think, as we're going to talk about later, that they definitely still do need bullpen pieces. We'll talk about that in a bit. But Corey Dickerson, once he's back from his foot injury, I think that could be a good piece off the bench. I just want to check on how. So according to this, Corey Dickerson will be back in. I'm going to say probably midway through July, maybe August. It looks like he's going to be in his boot for 3 weeks. 3 weeks on, like, a couple weeks ago, on the 23rd. That was only like a week-ish ago. So he'll be out of the boot midway through July, then rehab assignment for 2 weeks. So I'm going to say he'll be back in August. And I think Corey Dickerson will be a big X factor off the bench. I expect some good contribution from him, and I hope best from him. I really hope that he does produce. But it was sad to lose Joe Panik. Joe Panik was a great player. I love Joe Panik, and he was a great veteran. Even though he did get into a little bit of an argument with Ross Stripling. Ross Stripling probably should have been traded instead of him. Well, Stripling should have been traded for something better than Panik, because Stripling, I've noticed that he is kind of a cancer. Well, he's turning into it. I hope that's not going to be what it turns out. And I hope that he's not actually going to be that. That'd be sad. But let's get into the Blue Jays. Actually, not Blue Jays lineup yet. Let's talk about Rafael Dolis. My father, if he was on my podcast, he would be saying that it's a bad thing that Dolis is back, but they sent back down that Nick Gallagher guy. I think he's from Pittsburgh. Pretty sure his name sounds like Allegheny, but Dolis is back. That means we do have a good high leverage reliever, even though he hasn't been that good. I'm going to agree with my father on that, with what he said about Dolis. It's at least good to have more arms back, because they have been really short arms in the pen. And it's sad how many injuries the Blue Jays have. It's really sad, because they have so many guys in their bullpen that should be back. And I think that Baraki and Hatch should be back soon. They need to get Julian Merriweather back. And Chatwood might be a good thing too if they get him back, even though he isn't the best. But I think that it will be really good to have Dolis back. And the Blue Jays bats right now, they have been really, really good. They have red-hot bats. Right now the Blue Jays, I'm pretty sure, are leading the league. They're leading the league in home runs with 123 home runs. They have the highest slugging percentage in the league. They have the second highest OPS in the league, second highest batting average, fourth highest OBP. And if you guys... and also they're second in runs, second in hits. If you guys don't realize what this kind of sounds like, what do you think it sounds like? I'll let you think for a second. It sounds like the 2015-16 Blue Jays. That's what this team is. They are the reincarnation of that team. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. seemed like Josh Donaldson, just a lot better at staying healthy. I don't want to jinx him. Oops. Well, actually, this team is like a younger version of that. And I don't know if their pitching is better. No, their pitching is definitely not as good. Because that team did have some pitching issues too with the bullpen. And the starting pitching wasn't very good throughout the season in 2015, but this team definitely reminds me of that with their lineup. This team has great lineup. Their pitching isn't as good, but it is coming along. But in lineup today, let's get into that. We have Marcus Semien, Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., George Springer batting cleanup and DHing. And batting fifth, Teoscar Hernandez. Batting sixth, playing third base, Kevin Biggio. Batting seventh, playing center field, Randall Grichuk. Batting eighth, playing left field, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And batting ninth, Danny Jansen, back from the disabled list, which means that they sent Riley Adams back down. I feel like we got a good taste of Riley Adams, and I feel like I did change my mind a little bit on Reese McGuire. You guys know I don't like Reese McGuire. I've stated that many times that I'm not a big fan of him, but I think he changed my mind, and good for him, because Reese has showed that he belongs in the league as a backup catcher. He was hitting really well, and I think that if the Blue Jays do like a 60-40 split with Jano getting the majority of the catching time, I think that's probably a good idea. I think that Jano is definitely a lot better with the actual catching side. Reese, he's a wild card when it comes to hitting, but if he is having his good day, that is a good sign. That does mean that we will see good production from the Blue Jays backstops. And with Jano back, I think that they're going to be a lot better behind the plate. Their defense is going to be a lot better. And I hope that Riley Adams has a good time in AAA, because he definitely did show that he is a potential major league catcher in the future if he can just develop a little more. He just needs a little more development, I would say. But Robbie Ray versus Ryan Yarbrough, I think it's going to be a great matchup. Robbie Ray is a great pitcher. As I said before, he's a potential all-star. I would put him in the all-star game. Ryan Yarbrough, he was really good he was pretty good last year. I think he's fallen off a bit this year, but they are pretty equal, two pitchers. Robbie Ray has 6-3 his record, about 86 innings pitched, about a 3.50 ERA, 1.12 ERA, 1.12 WHIP, and 113 strikeouts and 21 walks. I think that his numbers are really good. I think that Robbie Ray is pitching really well. But now let's talk about trade deadline. So as I said before, the Blue Jays need bullpen pieces. They need to have a better bullpen. And I thought of some pitchers. Raisel Iglesias of the Angels, that would be a great pickup. I think he's been pitching really well. I've heard great things about him. And I think that Frank from the parking lot, I think he would agree that he's great. I feel bad for the Angels, but they suck. So how do you trade your technically closer to the Blue Jays? And Ian Kennedy, this is a really big one because he's coming from the Rangers. I know Rangers I don't like, but he is a good pitcher. He's older, meaning it wouldn't cost as much probably as it would for a young guy. But Ian Kennedy, I think that'd be a great pickup. You probably have to trade away a couple players for him because he is pitching well. It would be great for the bullpen. Getting Ian Kennedy, great right-handed pitcher. All the guys I have here, I'm pretty sure are all right-handers. Almost positive they are. Also, Kendall Graveman, former Toronto Blue Jay. He's with the Mariners right now. He's pitching kind of well. As most of you remember, he was traded for Josh Donaldson to the Oakland Athletics back in 2014-2015 offseason in that trade. But maybe we can get him back and put him in the bullpen because he's pitching well in the Mariners bullpen. He's a good pitcher, good righty, pitches well. I think I remember him being kind of like Aaron Sanchez. Well, when he was a starter. Also, Mark Melancon is highly unlikely because the Padres are a good team. But if they can get him, that'd be great. I think he's a righty. Great closer. If they can get him, it would definitely be a big haul to trade away for him. But Mark Melancon is definitely worth it. Mark Melancon is a great player. And if the Blue Jays were lucky to get him, that'd be amazing. And Hector Neris of the Phillies, he's another great player. I think that I know Philly fans, they aren't very fond of him because he does blow a lot of games. He is pitching kind of well. And look at Pete Walker. He's very good at bringing pitchers back to where they were. And I think that Hector Neris could be revived by Pete Walker. And as we know, Pete Walker is amazing at reviving pitchers. He's like the Einstein doctor. And all these pitchers, just getting one of them. I'm only saying one of them would be great. But let's get to the Blue Jays lineup again. Blue Jays lineup, I think, is the best lineup in the league. Put in the comments below if you think that they have the best lineup in the league. And I want you to all like, subscribe, comment on this video. Make sure to subscribe, please. I need you to subscribe. I'm sure you like the podcast. You like the new format. I've gotten so much positive feedback from people about this new format and about them saying that they love it. So, bye.